Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Aesthetics Today podcast. I'm your host, Tabby, and today we're excited to be joined by a pioneer in medical aesthetics, Kim Laudati, founder of IT Intelligent Treatment in New York City. Known for her innovative approach to beauty and wellness, Kim is the creator of SomaCell, a non surgical facelift procedure that's transforming the aesthetics industry. She's here to share her journey with us, her insights on aesthetics treatments, and her vision for the future of beauty. Kim, it's so amazing to have you here with us. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
So, Kim, can you tell us a bit about your background and how you got started in the field of medical aesthetics?
Yes, absolutely. When I was younger, in my late teens and early 20s, I used to break out a lot. And most of it was hormonal, and it was a monthly thing for years. I went through different treatments and did a lot of dermatologist work. And while I respect dermatology 100,000%, it was not working for me what we were doing. And by the time I got into my early 20s, I actually also developed low grade full face rosacea along with the acne. And a friend of mine had said, "Why don't you go see my esthetician?" So this esthetician had me stop all of this scrubbing and all of these chemical peels and everything I was doing. She reset my whole program, explained to me, which I had never heard before, that most of my issue with cystic acne was coming from a hormonal imbalance. So I should go to see my gynecologist, and the three of us would work together, which we did do. And by the end of that year, I remember waking up and suddenly realizing one day that I had just finished my menstrual period, and for the first time in my adult life, I did not break out. And that was the most incredible feeling. So I always knew when it was time for me to change careers, which I did in 2007, it was going to be into aesthetics because I wanted to share that fantastic feeling of looking in the mirror and being really happy with what you saw with my patients.
And your clinic, IT Intelligent Treatment, is described as a blend of luxury and innovation. What inspired you to create this kind of space in New York City, especially in such an elite area as Billionaires Row?
Well, Billionaires Row here in New York City is located in the Columbus Circle area, and it's very, very easy to access this area. And it's a beautiful blend of energy. You get luxury and you have a lot of science here. Everything you're looking for comes together in an easily accessible space. I always used to conduct my business in skincare on the Upper East Side. And while I still really like that area, the post-pandemic vibe here was fantastic. So I thought, what better place to launch our brand new rebranded IT Intelligent Treatment, which is specializing in regenerative aesthetic medicine, than right here on Billionaires Row.
SomaCell is an exclusive trademarked process known for its non surgical facelift results. Can you explain how this treatment works and what makes it so unique?
Yes, absolutely. I'm really excited to tell you about it. SomaCell is something that I've developed over the course of 3 years, and it's extremely different and unique in the fact that everything we have in the non-surgical facelifting realm in aesthetics is dermal controlled wounding. So that means we're using heat to damage your skin first and then create a cellular response like new collagen and elastin to get younger looking skin. This is the first time that we have a technology that is working with your body instead of against it, but you're still getting that same beautiful cellular response. So in layman's terms, this means that you can tighten and lift your skin without causing damage, without having downtime, without having to deal with pain management. You can get this treatment, and whether you put on makeup or not is up to you, but you can literally go right back to your day. You look gorgeous, and you see evolving results. Week by week, your face keeps getting better. your skin keeps regenerating in a healthier, stronger way. And it's incredible. I can't wait to share this with the world.
I love that. So let's talk about one of the most popular treatments out there, dermal fillers. This is a very common treatment people go for to enhance their lips and jawlines, for example. Do you think that some people overdo it? And what's the key to achieving subtle, natural looking results?
Absolutely, some people do go too far, and it's also to blame of the doctors that do it. The doctors that I work with will know when to tell you no. They will know when to tell you what the alternatives are and why you need something, and also why you don't need something. So while there's always a place for a filler, especially in the lips, I can't think of a single treatment that you could do with a machine that will plump your lips and it'll last more than a half an hour. So for people that do have an imbalanced lip, or they just want to be fuller, dermal fillers are fantastic for that. But the overuse of fillers to try to, really plump up your cheeks, to try to pull back your jawline, it just looks plastic. It just looks fake. And that's what a lot of patients don't want anymore. We're all trying to figure out how to age gracefully, but look beautiful naturally. SomaCell is one of the things that is at the forefront of this. You could tighten your face without having surgery to move your buccal fat pads. That's a horrible idea because your cheek, the area below your cheek will continue to cave in with each year that goes by. So you go from looking snatched to looking like a skeleton. And then if you overdo fillers, I don't know if you've seen pictures, I don't want to name the celebrities, but certain celebrities that do fillers along the jawline to make it look tighter, when they turn their face and natural light hits, if they're unfiltered pictures, you could see the filler line. So again, this is a very unnatural thing that patients really don't want to do anymore. So SomaCell is a fantastic alternative.
One fear people have is that non-surgical treatments might not last. What advice do you have for people to ensure that the results are long-lasting?
That's another fantastic question. Unfortunately, because we age every day, nothing we do, including plastic surgery, lasts forever. Your average plastic surgical results will last you about 10 years. Of course, this all depends on your lifestyle, your health, your genetics, and your skin condition. But 10 years is expected lifespan from a facelift. Dermal fillers usually have to be repeated once a year. Botox, as an example, it's suggested to do once every 3 to 6 months. And with SomaCell, as a non-surgical facelifting treatment, your results will continue to evolve throughout the 6-month marker, the 12-month marker, and in many cases, we're tracking patients that are at the 16-month marker, and we still see results where you can tell from their before picture to their live their current time frame, 12, 15, 16 months later, they're still showing lasting results. So even though we're aging every day, we always have to do maintenance. So if you, for example, do a SomaCell treatment series, the initial series of 6, you would want to do maintenance depending on your condition and how happy you are with what you see in the mirror, once every few months, once a year, maybe twice a year. It's very individual. But again, to address what you said, unfortunately, nothing we do lasts forever because we're aging every day. We have to fight that process to make sure that the beauty that we have on the inside continues to be reflected on the outside.
Absolutely. Some say the rise of non-surgical procedures is putting traditional plastic surgery at risk. Do you agree, or do both have a place in the industry?
I think that both will always have a place in the industry because there are contraindications to everything. Some patients just flat out are afraid of surgery. Some patients, their skin is too thin or they have a health issue that for whatever reason, that condition is not contraindicated for a surgical procedure. However, it will be contraindicated for certain energy-based technology or a chemical peel or Botox. So no matter what we're doing, I believe plastic surgery will remain an option. However, with the advent and the welcoming of this new generation of energy-based technology, especially something that doesn't damage your skin like SomaCell, that we can naturally regenerate stronger skin, we're going to push the limit or push the expectation of when you should think about possibly having a facelift. And in some circumstances, we can even eliminate that need depending on the patient. But again, I agree with you that I think, I think there will always be a place for surgery. And I have to drive home the point that with non-invasive technology coming forward to work with your body, we can push that off as far into the future as a patient would choose to.
And going back to your amazing signature treatment, the SomaCell, if someone wants to look and feel their best, what's one treatment you recommend beyond SomaCell or other advanced procedures?
If someone is looking to just, for example, get started in aesthetics, a fantastic place to start is with a hydrofacial. So hydrofacial is an international term as opposed to a US trademarked different company. The procedure steps are the same, where there is a machine that uses professional skincare solutions to do deep cleansing and infusing of solutions that are specific to your skin type. So it's a great place to start. And then from there, things like, I'm sure you know, hashtag glass facial, things like microneedling. I use a patented machine called EnoPen that has a tip that does not let the needles be dragged around your face. So microneedling was actually created to not give you a bloody face. It was meant to enter your skin at 90 degrees. So you could get clinical depth, deep treatment without walking out looking crazy, without having a bloody face, without having the downtime, without having the pain. So if you started, for example, with a hydrofacial, you cleanse, you deeply rehydrate, you reset your skin, and then if there's a need to do something more, such as microneedling, working on fine lines, starting to revise wrinkles, you could do something like that. And again, I do love the treatment that we give here because we don't give you a crazy face. And you can continue to evolve that journey all the way up to something like SomaCell. But again, even a younger patient could do SomaCell. But besides that, there's a host of treatments that are available for patients despite gender, despite ethnicity. We can take care of it all.
And touching on the topic of BBLs, or in other words, Brazilian butt lifts. BBLs have been a huge topic of controversy, with reports of high risks and even fatalities in certain countries like Turkey, the United States, and Brazil. What do you think is going wrong, and how can the industry make procedures like this safer?
Another great question. I'm personally not a fan of anything that's extreme, and a BBL to me is an extreme. The industry here in the US has stepped forward. The Plastic Surgery Association seems to have stepped forward recently with stricter guidelines on how the procedure should be performed, who the procedure should be performed on, and every effort should be made to basically give other options to your patient. I'm not a fan of BBL, and I'm not a fan of butt implants or buttock implants, because I've actually seen botch jobs where the implant actually can be flipped. And I find this all very alarming. I think that every body is beautiful, and while I know there are things that we want to tweak on ourselves and within ourselves, each person has something that they don't like about themselves. I think going to an extreme to have fat transfer is an extreme. And if there are ways you could work with your patient to naturally build up that area and help them with potential other maybe energy-based devices that can tighten their skin and give them more contour and give them more bounce, I feel that's a much better option because, as you mentioned, I am aware of people actually dying from these procedures, and it happens a lot more often than I believe is reported. So the general public quite often doesn't know just how risky it is. So again, I'm not against plastic surgery, but I feel like you should want to enhance who you are and not completely change who you are. That's my personal stance.
You're not only a practitioner, but also an educator in the aesthetics field. For someone interested in pursuing a career in aesthetics, what does it take to become an excellent practitioner?
Continuing education is key. When you get into the field of aesthetics at any level, it is so important to pick the best school you can possibly afford to get into. And you really have to apply yourself to continuing education because the school is only going to give you the barest of the basics, no matter how great the school is. And everything else from there for the rest of your career is about continuing education. The reason is because technology moves too quickly. Technology concerning skincare ingredients, technology concerning how we evaluate skin, and the ways that we can evaluate skin now is so much more advanced than even 5 years ago. The treatments continually change. So if you learned, as an example, laser hair removal from 10 years ago, it's incredibly different now. If you learn tattoo removal from 5 years ago, it has actually jumped forward in technology where you should get retrained and recertified. And that applies to every single thing that we have out there aesthetically. Each patient, when they come to you, will have different skin every time you see them. So it is our job to take this commitment as seriously as possible. It is a privilege to be able to touch other people physically, and what we're doing physically is touching them emotionally. So we have to take that to heart and do everything we can to stay abreast of all the new changes, to understand ingredients, to understand skin reactions, to understand new technology and new science that's coming out, like the skin microbiome. Everything is so different with every year that goes by. We really have to stay on top of it.
And do you think the aesthetics industry is too focused on fast results, or is there still a place for slower, more holistic approaches?
There is definitely a place for all of the above. A lot of people will be in a situation where they want faster results and they might be traveling to get those results. So it's whatever we can do safely to fit it into their time frame. However, things like your classic European facial, which is what we refer to like a holistic facial here, there's always a place for that too, because again, some patients might have a health issue. They might have a genetic issue, or they just might not like technology, but they want to have the wonderful emotions and the feeling that comes with having skin that was just professionally worked on. So a treatment like a facial without any technology involved and taking that holistic approach will still keep your skin hydrated, will still educate you in how best to take care of your skin. And it's a great starter place also. So again, if a patient, despite their age, wanted to start into aesthetics for the first time, if they're not going to go with a hydrofacial, they should think about a basic facial, like our holistic treatment. And it's a great jump off point, and it's a point that they could actually use for the rest of their life. They wouldn't actually need to change anything unless they really wanted to.
What's one thing practitioners should never do when performing treatments?
There's so many things practitioners should never do. But the biggest thing I would say a practitioner should never do is never, ever push a treatment or a skincare product on a patient that they do not need. Patients quite often will come racing to your door with the latest trends or something they read on your own website. And they're like, I need this, please, I need this. But it's not the right thing for them. So it's up to us to protect them from themselves and not only say no, but to explain why and build that relationship of trust with each other. So they'll always have beautiful skin and feel wonderful about it, but we're taking our responsibility serious. It's not about money, it's about the patient welfare.
And what would you say to someone who's hesitant to try aesthetics treatments because they fear looking overdone?
Yes, I would tell them that they should research the best rated professional in their area and start from there. And the best rated professional that is close to them or within their traveling distance is not always that 5-star person. It might not be the first 3 Google hits that you come up with or the first 3 internet searches. It might be a little bit further down. And that's because a lot of times practices can get up to the top of the internet searches depending on how much money they're spending per month. So it's an ugly fact, but it's part of what goes around in the world, right? So we need to ask friends that we know that are receiving professional treatments for their referrals and research and look at independent reviews. And don't be afraid to go in for a consultation. A consultation should not mean you are trapped into an appointment. And you could feel the energy and you could ask your questions and you could listen to the answers. Are they pushing treatments on you? Are they pushing products on you? Or are they listening and answering your questions and asking more questions? That's what really is something that you want to build your relationship through. So you want to build your relationship through that trust. And like I said, it's not always that number 1 internet search that's going to be the right person for you. Sometimes it is, but you have to do diligence and really, like I said, take a couple avenues to figure out who's best for you and then go from there.
And what's the difference between a treatment that enhances versus one that completely changes someone's appearance? How do you help clients understand that distinction?
It depends on what their goal is. So if a patient comes to me and they say fine lines, wrinkles, I don't want to do, for example, Botox and fillers, what do you have for me? That's when I will talk to them about things like SomaCell skin tightening and potentially maybe laser resurfacing. But you don't want to do anything that is going to make them look unnatural. So here at IT Intelligent Treatment, we actually don't have any treatments that would make a patient look unnatural. We're in a position now where our medical staff can provide biologics. So we're working with things like PRP and PRF, which comes from your own body. We're working with injectable exosomes and stem cells. So it's all very exciting, and all of these things do work with the machine technology. So we can continue to evolve and have you age in a mysterious way without making you look unnatural.
I love that. Are there any treatments you think are overhyped or unnecessary in today's market?
Oh, that's a great question. There are treatments out there, like to me, a microneedling facial that makes your face bloody is unnecessary damage to the outer layers or the epidermis, if you will, of your skin. When you research and learn that microneedling was actually supposed to have the needles enter your skin only at 90 degrees and not be dragged around your face to create all this bloody mess, then you realize you will get the results and all of that damage is completely unnecessary. So things like the bloody face treatment are, to me, completely overhyped. It's a thing of the past. It's completely like 5 years ago, and we just need to move on from that.
And what trends or advancements do you think will shape the aesthetics world in the next 5 years?
I definitely believe that a treatment like SomaCell that works with your body naturally and is not a heat energy based device is really going to change the game and be an industry disruptor. And also bringing in those biologics, having materials like PRP, platelet rich plasma that comes from your own body, being re-injected to stimulate new collagen and elastin growth, completely chemical free. These are things that we're doing to work with your body to, again, age gracefully, age mysteriously, and just keep you in love with yourself without looking fake.
There's a lot of buzz about prejuvenation these days, which are preventative treatments for younger clients. What's your take on this trend?
I think it's something that I wish I would have had an opportunity to be part of back when I was a teenager and in my 20s, to tell you the truth. Because if I would have known when I was back in, like, the late 80s, early 90s, to not be baking in the sun and to wear chemical free sunblock and to moisturize properly twice a day, which I didn't learn that until my late 20s when I worked with that one esthetician. If I could do preventative, if I could have done preventative back then, I 100% would have, and I totally believe in it. But again, it's the responsibility of the therapist. Each professional, such as myself and my staff, knows when to explain to a patient in a way that they understand that they should be doing and can be doing this much. They don't need to be doing this much. So don't chase trends. Don't try every single home care trend under the sun, because then you're going to end up at a place like here at IT Intelligent Treatment, and we're going to have to fix what your trends did to your skin, at your own home. But preventative measures are very important to avoid things like premature brown spots and having flushing and redness issues and skin cancer. You want to protect your skin every single day with chemical-free sunblock. And to do treatments, even a treatment like SomaCell, works on a younger patient without damaging their skin. So you can get tighter, healthier, vibrant skin, again, without going too far.
Do you believe that client education is important when it comes to aesthetic treatments?
Absolutely. That's what we're all about here at IT Intelligent Treatment. Myself and my staff always make sure that the patient is educated. And it's not just for us to always continue our education, but patients need to understand why they're doing something, how they're doing something, what they can do with their home care afterwards. What they shouldn't be doing with their home care afterwards is sometimes even more important. And really working synergistically together with your patient, having that trusting relationship gets them the results that they want without having any kind of major issues. Like, you can avoid major issues, you can avoid skin conditions that, things like, burning your skin or looking crazy because you did too many professional treatments. All of that can be avoided through client education.
And a lot of people are becoming more conscious about the ingredients in their skincare and treatments. What should clients look out for in their products and treatments?
I am not a fan of overdoing anything. So too many acids in your treatment products are always a bad thing. And I find a lot of patients don't understand that retinols are actually an exfoliant, and all of that glycolic acid in your skincare products, especially when in combination with retinols, it's just resurfacing, and it's too much. You don't want to overwork your skin, especially when it comes to exfoliation. So that, to me, any kind of multiple exfoliants in your skincare products, to me, is always a bad idea.
Kim, you've shared so much valuable information. Before we wrap up, what's that one skincare tip that you absolutely swear by for glowing, healthy skin?
Definitely wear your chemical-free SPF. 365 days a year. Even when it's raining, UV rays could actually reach the surface of the planet through the clouds, through the rain. If you're sitting in an office but you're near a window, you're going to be exposed to sun. If you're driving in a car and you're on the sunny side, that whole side of your face would be exposed to direct sunlight. And even overhead office lights quite often give off UV radiation. So your number one anti-aging tip is to use chemical-free sunblock.
Kim, it's been such a pleasure having you on today. I really feel like our listeners have gained so much valuable insights into the world of aesthetics and skincare. And thank you also for sharing the heart and purpose behind everything that you do. I know it's given me and hopefully our listeners to a fresh perspective on skincare and wellness. And we'd love to have you on again in the future as developments happen with SomaCell or anything else at IT Intelligent Treatment. And for our listeners who'd like to keep up with Kim and her team, what's the best way to connect with you?
We can be followed on social media, whether it's on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok at somacellskin.com. Or I'm sorry, it's the at somacellskin. Or they can also reach out to us via the website, somacellskin.com, or the IT Intelligent Treatment website, which is www.itxmagic.com.
Perfect. I've loved this conversation, and I hope you all have too. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to the Aesthetics Today podcast. And you can also find us on social media and our website at aesthetics.today. Thanks again, Kim. And to all our listeners out there, keep taking care of yourselves, stay curious, and as always, stay beautiful.